sounds like we have a lot of folks in here that are business owners. And so one necessary piece of any business is accounting, right? They say accounting is the language of business. So whether you say I'm not a numbers person or whatever, you have to have some level of understanding. And many of us, what we do is we start off doing our own accounting, right? And so a common question is, when do I hire an accountant? Do I need to hire an accountant? Do I want to hire an accountant? Somebody's got an accounting background, right? They could go a lot longer probably than somebody who's like, I don't like numbers, I hate them, it's painful for me to just sit here and categorize expenses. If that's you probably want to move fairly quickly to find somebody to take it over. But if you can get in a rhythm, this is just in my opinion, right? If you can get in a rhythm and say, okay, you know what, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm going to go through and categorize my expenses, and I'm going to, put the time in that it takes to make sure that my books are up to par, then maybe it works. But oftentimes what I see is clients wait too long to hire an accountant, then you go find an accountant, and now they're charging you for the mess that you made, you have to pay more, right? As opposed to saying, hey, can you just take a look at my books, maybe a quarterly review, we can figure out what that cost is. Financial accounting versus tax, right? A lot of times, for small businesses, what we're focused on is that tax piece, right? I am kind of doing these things so at the end of the year I can file my taxes, right? But as a business owner, it's important for you to understand the difference. So the financial accounting piece is going to be, right, like my day-to-day, month-to-month accounting, right? My bookkeeping that you hear people say, right? Like that's kind of the financial accounting piece, right? As I sell supplies or I buy expenses, there's things I have to record on the ledger. Tax is going to be, all right, somebody that you're going to bring your books to make sure that you're abiding by the various tax laws, right? Make sure you're getting the right deductions and things that you want to have. Now, those things work together, right? What is accrual accounting versus cash basis accounting, right? Again, as a business owner, it makes sense to know if your bank says I want accrual accounting financials, but you're running them based on cash basis, right? You need to understand how can I turn cash-based accounting to accrual accounting. It's just the way that we recognize expenses and revenue and things like that. Most of us are on cash basis. Cash comes in our business. Okay, that's revenue, right? We purchase something. Okay, that's an expense. Again, as business owners, a lot of times we see our net income and our profit, and we're like, all right, that's cash, right? And no, not necessarily, right? Especially if you're on an accrual basis, you have to understand where that net income, where it goes. If you were doing a monthly close, that would be a checkpoint in your close, right? Making sure that, all right, anything that has been a deposit is earned, I'm pulling that over. That's part of my monthly close. I'm reconciling my bank statements. I'm comparing all the balance sheet accounts, make sure everything is good. I fully close these books. I publish them now and go to the next money, right? So most people think about QuickBooks. I'm starting a business, let me go to QuickBooks because it's easy. Depending on the package, it's relatively cheap. But for certain accountants and CPAs, it gives us the heebie-jeebies. It's not a lot of controls with QuickBooks. You can delete an entry very, very easily and maybe not even know that you deleted it. I would say don't use QuickBooks because yes, it can do the things that I'm saying. You just have to, recognize some of its faults and just make sure that you understand the system. But you have QuickBooks, you have Xero, you have a whole lot of systems out there.